You look really upset with the arm cross.
I am upset.
What?
I'm upset that we've missed so many episodes. Welcome to The Wardrobe. This is the Who You Know podcast. I'm Rylan Deemer.
And I'm Elisa Wildy.
And boy, it's been a crazy couple of weeks.
Yeah. Wasn't expecting to be gone that long, maybe.
Yeah, definitely not. So what do we have going on? I know you had the ski trip.
Yeah. I think we were both going to be out of town that weekend, so it's like...
Mm-hmm.
Was
Oh,
it that
right.
weekend?
That's the same weekend that I flew to Raleigh.
Okay, yeah, because...
So let me explain. So we intended to take that one weekend off all along, because I was flying to Raleigh for a work conference, and Elisa had a ski trip that she was going on with some friends. I got to that work conference, and that Sunday night had a really nice dinner with some coworkers, which was great. But Monday morning, the day that the conference started, I woke up with a persistent cough. And of course, you know, with COVID, having a cough meant that I wasn't able to attend anything. And honestly, even if I knew for sure it wasn't COVID, it would still be pretty rough to be coughing around people. You know, I think it hits different nowadays.
It does.
So yeah, I woke up with a cough. And wasn't able to attend any of the conference. It was supposed to be like a 2 full days of stuff, and then fly back Wednesday. And because of the cough, here are my options that I was given. I could either wait until Sunday and fly back then if I get a negative COVID test on Saturday. Oh, and I should also say, if the test is positive, then I would have to stay all the way till the following Friday. Yeah, the following Friday. My other option, if I didn't want to stay that long or risk staying super long, is drive all the way from Raleigh back to where I currently live, which is a very long drive. It's like 18 or 19 hours. Doesn't sound appealing, but that's what I ended up doing because I didn't want to risk it. And so, yeah, I drove back home over those 2 days, and as soon as I got home, I tested. It was positive for COVID, so we'll be talking a little bit about my experience with that. I'm not going to go too deep into symptoms or anything, because we all know generally what the symptoms are. I would say that I had a mild case, but it was symptomatic. So yeah, did the test, came back positive. I took the next day off because after a 19-hour drive, it's just I had no capacity to do a work day.
Yeah, was this drive even worse than a normal drive anyway because you just didn't feel good? Did that affect that?
I don't think so. I never felt like it was impacting my ability to drive in any way.
Okay.
It was really just a cough and sore throat.
Okay.
It's not gonna drive me off the road, but it was tiring, and I felt like I needed to rest, and I really wanted to get over the COVID as quickly as possible, or whatever it was. I guess I didn't know it was COVID at that point. Yeah, and then I decided to retest on Saturday because I was really curious. If I had stayed in Raleigh, would I have been stuck there until the following Friday? And I retested, and it was still positive. So yeah, I would have been stuck there a long time. So I'm really glad I did the drive. But also because I tested positive as soon as I got home, I decided to quarantine away from my wife Chen and our 2 cats, because I didn't want Chen to get sick too. It would suck to have both of us sick at the same time. Also, even with quarantining, I was like, there's a chance that she could still get it from me. Because, we hugged when I got home and stuff. But I guess I wanted to minimize the viral load she might take on as the initial infection.
Yep.
I'm no expert, but I imagine that can affect some of the severity of the illness, like your initial viral load that you take in when you get infected.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering, like, like you had told me, like, no recording the following weekend, obviously, because of the situation. And I was wondering, I'm like, how is Chen though? Because I thought you got back and then tested positive. I'm like, oh, it's like she probably picked him up from the airport. They probably like had dinner, and all of a sudden he got sick. But no, it wasn't like that. So then I was like, now it made more sense why like Chen was probably gonna be just fine, not like worried about also testing or anything. So it makes a lot more sense.
She did test though.
Okay.
I think she tested the same Saturday that I retested, and hers was negative, thankfully. You know, I wouldn't be super concerned if she did get it. It's just like I want to make it as easy as possible if she does get it. So like,
yeah. Well,
if I'm just like breathing on her for like hours straight, then you know, obviously she might have like a worse you know, infection than if she just like happens to get it from like, I don't know, like a bowl that I breathed on.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because when Dan got sick once, he doesn't usually get, it was like a weird like nighttime sneezing attacks. I don't know. It was like a weird sickness. And I almost like wanted him to sleep in the other room. And I'm like, please stay away from me. I was like, although like I have nothing important going on right now where I can't be sick. So like, it's okay. But I felt really bad being like, can you sleep in the other room? I think if I got sick, I would try to stay away. But also, versus a house, it's like a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
It's a little harder.
It's harder, yeah. So yeah, having the house was great for that. I slept in like the guest bedroom, and we have like the same size bed in there that we do in our main bedroom.
Now you get it all to yourself.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that was I don't get much of a benefit from sleeping alone versus like next to Chen. The cats though, it was hard to keep them away because they like Chen understands obviously like why I'm sleeping in the other room and everything, but the cats don't get it, and so they would, you know, sit outside the door just waiting for me like all night. When my alarm would go off in the morning, Audrey would start crying at the door. That was the hard part, is the cats just don't get it. They haven't learned germ theory yet. But if anyone, some of our listeners might be wondering, like, why keep the cats away? So there's 2 reasons. One, they can be like I could get COVID on them, and then they could go to Chen, and then Chen could get COVID by like petting them and getting it off their fur. So that's one reason. The other reason is they've actually seen that it does transfer to cats, as well as like big cats at zoos. We've actually lost some big cats in the United States at zoos due to COVID. Snow leopards, I think. Huh. So, and also like my vet was telling me that when COVID first like came up, they had a ton of cats brought in for respiratory issues.
Oh, really? Yeah.
When it started like surging around. So yeah, I just didn't want like our cats to have to deal with that either.
Yeah, one time I had a cold, and I searched if I could transfer it to the cat. Don't think you can transfer colds based on my short research, but I did know a friend where her cat got COVID, so
yeah,
it does happen.
Yeah, and I just wanted to avoid that. For myself, like I wasn't worried at all about health outcomes or anything. Part of that's because I'm vaccinated, so I knew even if I got like a case, like the severity of it's going to be reduced. Yeah. The main thing for me is I just don't want to be like a vector for transmission. So like, you know, I don't want to be like the guy who like brings COVID to like a mass event and becomes like a super spreader. So
I agree with that. It's a fear.
Yeah. Any burning questions I can answer, Elisa?
I don't think so.
Yeah, if my voice is a little husky, that's why. I'm not apologizing for it, though. I kind of like it.
I did notice it was a little, I was going to say, like, muffled, but I see, like, the huskiness.
Yeah.
To it.
Yeah, I've got a bit of that vocal fry going on. I don't know where I got it, either. I had a dinner, Chen and I had a dinner with some friends of ours on, like, the day before I flew to Raleigh. But also I went to like a big concert on the Wednesday before I flew to Raleigh. So either of those are kind of potential situations where I could have gotten COVID, but they're also like the dinner was almost like too soon compared to when I got symptoms, and the concert was almost like too far away from when I got symptoms. So it's hard to say really, but the concert was great though.
Yeah. I was going to say though, unless you like got on that plane and you just show symptoms right away.
Right, yeah. No, exactly.
But yeah, I guess everyone could be different. But yeah, back to the concert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that concert, we didn't originally intend to go together.
No.
So it was a Billie Eilish concert. Chen and I, our anniversary was that same day, and we decided to go to the concert to celebrate. And we happened to find out that Elisa and Dan had tickets to go to the same concert, so we ended up all going there together. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, I was very interested to see how she would do it, because like I've heard she puts on a great show, and that's like what I like about concerts is, do they put on a great show or do they just stand at a mic and sing? But her latest album has a lot of slower songs, so I was like, how can you put on a great show with a lot of slow songs? But like, she worked it like as best as I think you possibly could. Like, it was great.
Yeah, and not only did she work it, I think she used those slower songs to great effect, because the venue was really hot that day, and so like I was up in the stands, and you were like on like a balcony up in the stands, and then there was like a pit, like general standing area like down below, where a ton of people were like pressed really close, and it was apparently getting super hot down there, and so people were passing out. And Billy like stopped the show at one point and made sure that staff were like getting there to like medically treat like the people that passed out and get them out of the crowd, and also get waters to the people in the crowd. But then she took those slower songs and said, okay, we're gonna like chill out the vibe for a bit, and she just did like a couple slow songs back to back so the crowd could kind of spread out and not be like moving around so much. So I thought that was pretty clever how she switched over to slow songs when people started having issues with the heat.
Yeah, and I mean, we were in places where we could sit, so she would even tell us to sit down, which is like, I don't think I've been to a concert where someone has ever like told people to do that. But like, and everyone did it. I guess everyone listens in a concert. Like, I was surprised that everyone would sit down. I mean, she would tell like the floor to just like take a step back. Yeah, relax.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for people like artists who are able to like really care for the people who are their audience, like how we care for all of you so deeply.
Never mind. I was gonna say, so take a moment, relax right now.
Yeah, if you're listening to this at home and you're jumping up and down, please sit. Yeah, I just have a lot of respect for that. You know, obviously the other end of the spectrum is something like Travis Scott and the way that he was managing his crowds, which I don't like. But yeah, I think like if you've got fans, you should do what you can to like, you know, you shouldn't be like negatively impacting their health, and you should do what you can to take care of them. So
I did also think I've been at other concerts in the pit, like at that same venue before, and I was actually surprised at how empty it looked. I thought it would be a lot more filled up, because like honestly, I probably would have bought those tickets, but like I didn't want to show up early to be able to like get close. But honestly, it wasn't like so full where like anywhere I would have stood would have been like way closer than I was obviously now, and it would have been a good view. And like I was surprised, and I wondered if not many people bought those tickets, or if like she really did limit like the number of people that could be on the floor.
Could be.
Sure.
Because the stands were pretty full.
Like yeah.
85%, maybe.
Maybe more, but like during the opener though, I was like, where is everyone? Did anyone buy tickets to this concert?
It also just could be like the COVID effect. People not wanting to be like in the pressed crowd down below.
Yep.
I could see that. It was a sick concert.
Yeah.
I hope that's not where I got COVID.
I feel like yeah, hopefully.
And maybe I shouldn't call it sick. Like maybe that's not the right word.
Um, I feel like I'm gonna have a spoiler alert here because when I go to concerts, sometimes I don't want to know what happens. But like the beginning song, okay, so like Dan and I like would try to guess the opener song and then the encore songs. But it was really hard because like this, I mean, she has to come out with a bang, right? But like it can't be like the bang. You got to wait for that till the end. And so like we were arguing and so finally I just said it's either going to be Bad Guy that's like first or during the encore. I was well, I was technically wrong in general because there was no encore. I was like shocked because a lot of concerts I go to, they obviously finish up and then they like go away and then you obviously the crowd keeps yelling and then they come back out. But this one she was literally like, guys, bad news, only 2 more songs left. So I counted that as the encore so that I could be half right. But if you think about it, like obviously I feel like the biggest song that you have to go out with is Happier Than Ever, but it's also the Happier Than Ever tour. So you can't like have a whole concert without that song
Right.
and then go back and wait for them to like call you back on to perform it. So I was very conflicted in what I thought was going to happen, but I actually went back and searched the beginning of the concert again online, like a fan recording, because I literally loved how the concert started so much that I like wanted to relive it again. And so like I tried to find videos of it because I was like, it was so good.
It was pretty cool. So yeah, if you get a chance to see her live, definitely recommend it. And she even she won an Oscar, right?
Yeah. That is what
I meant to
I was
look this up
confused about
earlier,
that
but
this morning, but then Chen confirmed that she did.
yeah, it was like the No Time to Die theme that she made, which was played at the concert with the music video. I thought that was pretty cool. Did you watch any of the rest of the Oscars?
I didn't watch any of the Oscars.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know like it was even happening until the Will Smith incident, which I mean, like every article that my phone was showing me was about that.
I feel like I usually know when the Oscars happen or like other things because a lot of people on TikTok that I follow will like be hosting like a red carpet show or something. And of course, I'm like watching all the outfits. Like before the Oscars even start, like I've already seen people's outfits online and stuff. So like that's usually why I know. But yeah, I woke up that morning to go to like a 6 a.m. workout class. I don't normally talk to anyone in my workout class. It's like you go in, you're on your own, doing your own thing. Like it's very focused. But literally, I got there and the lady next to me was like, "Did you watch the Oscars last night?" And I was like, "What could possibly have happened at the Oscars that she wants to talk about?" And then I realized.
So Elisa, well, at first let's table set. So if you're like the one person in the U.S. that doesn't know, at the Oscars, Chris Rock made a joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada, and there's a little bit of stuff in between there, but basically Will Smith came up on stage and slapped Chris Rock. A big slap too.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that slap?
Yeah.
He squared off for it.
I was surprised there weren't like little finger marks left on the face.
So and then there was some yelling from Will Smith after he sat down too. But I think the slap is really what everybody's honed in on. So Elisa, if let's say someone made a joke about you and Dan just hauled off and slapped them.
Dan asked me about this. He was like, "Would you want me to do that?" And I said, "I would much rather you talk to the person. I do not want physical activity going on."
So why would you prefer that he talk to them instead of
so this might be like a different reason than some people say. I actually just hate physical like fighting, I'll say. I just hate the physicality of anything. Like I won't watch wrestling, MMA, like wrestling I guess is okay. But like MMA, boxing, like that stuff literally grosses me out and like my insides just don't feel good. And so I've told Dan before, like if you ever got in a fight, that might be like a breaking point where I'm just like, no, like this isn't gonna work because
Like
it
get in
grosses.
a fight at all? Like
Yeah.
do you mean like he would start it?
Physical.
Or what if somebody like started a fight? Like they
Yeah,
start
I mean,
throwing
I guess if he's
punches?
defending himself, that
Okay.
is probably different.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I just get so queasy and grossed out. It's like something that can't leave my mind. And so I'm very against like the physical aspect. And I would almost be embarrassed as his like girlfriend, wife at the time and be like, I can't believe you just did that. And so that it would be almost really embarrassing for me. And I wouldn't mind him confronting someone about it. I'd still be a little embarrassed about that. Like I could also probably say something, but I would hate it if he went up and slapped someone.
So you'd be embarrassed even if he verbally
A little bit. Like
confronted?
I could also say like I'd rather almost say something myself first.
Yeah.
Versus like having someone else say it for me.
I think that's cool.
Might be a step up for me. I'm not the type to do that, but
Sure.
yeah. What are your thoughts on how you would react if it was done to Chen?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like, what would your reaction be if it was you sitting in the chair and Chris Rock just made fun of Chen for a certain reason?
I'm trying to think, like, even if it were like a really vicious joke, I don't know. I'm trying to think about something that would be like harsh enough. And I wouldn't say it out loud. I'm just trying to think to get myself in the mindset. But I think I would say something, but I think it would be tough. If I knew I were like getting an award and about to go up on stage and have like control of the microphone, I'd probably say something then, because I think that would be just like the most effective way to be like
Yep.
really squash that bad joke. But without knowing that, I don't know. I don't think I'd like yell from the crowd to try to defend, because I feel like that would come across as kind of feeble in some way. I'm trying to like, I don't know. It's hard to like put myself in the mindset of like I'm an artist at the Oscars and Chen's sitting there and I'm trying to defend her from a joke that I haven't even.
Well, and like I feel like Will Smith kind of put this in a
hello
like an address. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like what he spoke to on as a response, like online. He said like it comes with part of the territory of like our jobs, which a lot of people said too. But I was like, I feel like you can still sometimes take it too far. But
yeah, and that joke may have been, from what I understand. I think there's like a cultural context to it too that I didn't initially understand, but after like reading a lot, I could see how it was like a harsher joke.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I don't know. That Will Smith has apologized and it sounded sincere from what I read.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did. Yeah, he definitely seemed like he felt bad about it because he even apologized at the Oscars when he went up there too. Like,
well, I think that apology though, I don't think he made it to Chris Rock. I think
it was to the Academy. Yeah.
But he ended up, I think, on Twitter, like apologizing in a more sincere fashion to Chris Rock specifically, and also saying that he doesn't think violence is. I'm gonna botch the wording, but it was something about how like violence is not the right answer to any conflict.
Yeah, I think it's also just interesting. Like, I think a lot of people watching and even were at the show thought it was part of like the act of the show at first, until he went back and like started yelling.
Yeah.
And so then everyone was kind of in shock of like, oh.
When he was yelling from the audience, I was like, oh, this is real, because like nobody is that good of an actor.
Yeah. I saw like a funny TikTok where it's like the guy's pretending to be security and he's like, who's getting up on stage? Oh, it's just Will Smith. What? What just happened? That was part of the show, right? I mean, it's probably going to be made fun of for a long time too, but
yeah.
I also,
go ahead.
Well, so like you can see when he first made the joke that Will Smith laughed. And so I do wonder, like, what the whole situation between him laughing and, like, going up there was. 'Cause Jada didn't laugh.
I don't
but-
read much into that because a lot of times people will laugh even if they're made uncomfortable by
yeah.
something or don't agree with something. It's just like a natural human response. So I don't. People are trying to like get into the psychology between Will and Jada and all that. And it's like
yeah.
I don't know how much you can actually
I was just thinking,
understand
like,
about somebody's relationship.
yeah, I wasn't even thinking relationship, but like he did, like, I did see like Jada like roll her eyes and like, oh my God, you're making this joke, whatever. And I wonder if Will Smith then looked over and was like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't have laughed. And then he got like emotional about it. But,
He may have or may not have had that thought. I just
Yep.
I don't want to speculate.
no.
Oh, I love having Audrey join the podcast.
Mhm.
I don't think she joined the last episode. This is great.
Nope.
But yeah, for me, where I draw the line is like if an altercation is verbal, you are in the wrong if you move it to physical.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if somebody like came up to me and like threw a punch, I would go physical immediately, and I think I would be totally in the right to do so. But yeah, taking it from verbal to like a physical conflict, I think you're always in the wrong. Whoever starts the physical stuff first is definitely in the wrong.
Yeah, it was surprising.
Not that Chris Rock didn't like cross a line. I'm not saying that, but definitely like the movement to physical is a.
We were saying last night though, like, with the joke that he made, it was about G.I. Jane. I was worried I was going to stumble over that word, but I said it right. But they were saying in the first movie, I don't know who the actress was, she had to shave her head for the role, but she looked good. So we're like, you could take it like in a good way too, but it was a joke.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to say about like the nuance to the joke that I don't really feel like I'm qualified to talk about, but I think we all agree, and Will Smith included, that the slap was a huge misstep on his part.
Yep.
I can already feel my voice starting to get a bit
Really?
rough. Yeah, I'm out of the contagious period though. So if you're at home and you're
Thank
like
God.
sweating, maybe we should have said this earlier. If you're like sweating, like, oh my God, Rylan's
You
gonna
worried about
infect
me?
Elisa. No, I'm outside of the infectious period, according to the CDC. And the fact that like my symptoms have improved basically every day means that I'm not infectious anymore. Yeah, if you do get COVID, just look at the CDC website. It's not always the best organized, but they'll tell you like when you can end your isolation and all that. I'm feeling good, except for my throat.
Good. When did you say you're going to go back to like a workout?
Tomorrow.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And
Hopefully
I
it
did
goes
a
well.
workout at home yesterday, Dance Revolution workout. And I might do that today as well. But yeah, I didn't notice any like hindrance to my ability to
Nice.
perform on the dance board. Let's end it.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. How do we end this again?
I think we just. Bye.
See you later.